Okay, imagine this. You find a city, right? But it's 10,500 years old,
Yeah.
and it's hidden under, like, a whole forest. And the craziest part, no shovels involved. It's all thanks to some pretty advanced, almost space-age tech. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into how cutting-edge laser equipment, some developed by NASA, is really shaking up archaeology. It's completely changing how we find these, long-lost civilizations.
That's exactly right. And our mission today really is to dive into one specific discovery that just shows this perfectly. We're going to explore how this tech lets us essentially see through centuries of forest growth right down to the ground. It uncovers things that were totally invisible before. It's like a direct line to our really distant past.
So let's talk about that discovery. A lost city.
Hmm?
10,500 years old, you say?
Yeah.
Ancient Native Americans?
Yeah, that's the current thinking. The main site we're talking about was found near the Beaver River out in western Oklahoma. But, it's not alone. They used similar tech to find another settlement, also about 10,500 years old, but way over in Connecticut.
Wow, coast to coast practically.
Yeah.
And these weren't simple settlements.
Doesn't seem like it. The Oklahoma site suggests these hunter-gatherers were pretty sophisticated. They apparently funneled bison into these narrow gullies, dead ends to hunt them more easily. Really makes you think about their level of organization back then.
Okay, so the big question is how? How did they find these places buried under everything?
Right. The technology, it's this laser-based remote sensing gear. The specific system is called Teledyne Optech LAR, but most people just call the technology LIDAR.
Lidar, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of that, light detection and ranging.
Exactly. And what it does is, well, pretty brilliant. It scans the ground and creates this super detailed 3D map of the surface grass, trees, bushes, everything. But then, and this is the key bit, it can digitally strip away all that vegetation.
So it creates like a bare earth model.
Precisely. It lets scientists see the actual contours of the land, structures, earthworks, stuff that's so overgrown you could walk right over it and never know it was there.
Like archaeological X-ray vision.
That's a good way to put it. Paul Lorock from Teledyne Optech, he's the VP of Special Projects there, he said, LiDAR reveals structures so overgrown that they wouldn't be obvious at all to someone on the ground.
And the NASA connection. That sounds wild.
It really is. The development was partly spurred on by scientists figuring out how to map other planets, moons, asteroids, surfaces without atmospheres. NASA's actually been using LiDAR tech since way back, even on the Apollo missions, so it's space tech coming back to Earth, in a way.
That's incredible. But what does it mean practically for archaeologists? Are they, like, ditching their trowels?
Not quite ditching the trowels, but
Oh.
it helps massively. Archaeologist Lee Beam pointed out how useful these tools are for delineating where we need to concentrate our efforts. Basically, it saves enormous amounts of time and, well, money and effort.
So it tells them where the interesting stuff might be.
Exactly. You're not going to find, say, bison bones themselves with the airborne LiDAR. Mag Waters, a remote sensing expert, made that clear. She said, you'll never find bison bones with airborne LiDAR, but you can find the geological features that suggest a place to look. So it pinpoints the high probability spots, lets them focus digging efforts strategically.
Makes sense. And you said Oklahoma and Connecticut weren't the only places?
No, not at all. This LiDAR tech has been popping up everywhere in archaeology. A really famous recent example was in Honduras. It helped finally locate the legendary Lost White City, Ciudad Blanca, a place people had searched for ages. LiDAR basically confirmed it was real.
Wow, so it's confirming legends now, too. Okay, so let's bring this back to, everyone listening. What's the big takeaway here for you? It seems like this tech, born from looking at the stars, is now letting us look back into our own deepest history right here on Earth. It's really changing our whole picture of the past.
It absolutely is. And I think what's truly fascinating is just the sheer potential it unlocks. It shows there's so much more hidden knowledge, literally right under our feet, waiting to be found. We're constantly learning more about our world.
So here's something to think about. How much more of our human story, our history, is still out there? Hidden by forests or deserts or just time itself, just waiting for that right mix of, curiosity and the next leap in technology to bring it all to light. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?